choosing not to stack his creep camps. Again, you know, you have to use that Whispering Helm to its greatest ability, and taking over those creeps is actually pretty important. You know, it's built into the cost of the item, and so if you're not using it, you're not getting the maximum effect. Even if you just keep like a wolf dude with you for the bonus damage when you're jungling, I mean, that's a fairly big increase in your output damage. And so it does look like Malkin gets to clear that, and that is going to raise his gold even more. It does look like he's going for a demonic breastplate. That's a great pickup. It's going to give him a ton of damage. It's going to give damage to Valkyrie as well. She just put out quite a bit of physical damage, especially as the game's going to go on. You know, they're thinking in the long picture, and that's really great. It'll be interesting to see how much that changes the team fights. He's going to be super tanky against Puppet Master, trying to do those physical damage DPS to that Malkin, because you know they have to kill Malkin if they want to get anything done. And with that shrunken head, the only way to do it is to auto attack him down. But they're just not going to let him do it. Very smart buys in the Legion team. They're playing a super solid game. You know, I think a lot of people going into this would have said that ELMO probably had a large advantage. Oh, we do have the initiation by Pharaoh onto this Andromeda once again. Andromeda is just going to melt, and hopefully they'll be able to get out of here before the Hellborn team can do anything about it. Again, you know, super free kills like that are great. It'll be interesting to see once this puzzle box becomes level 3 how much damage it's doing in team fights. Puzzle box is one of my favorite items in the entire game. It is just so good. People are worried about microing. Oh, you know, micro. You don't have to do that much micro to be effective with it. Magnus gets absolutely picked off by this really great initiation by the Legion team. You can tell that they've played as a team together once or twice before, because they have such really great synergy in their initiation. They're definitely being very vocal. You know, they're right on the money. They know exactly what they're doing, and they have a ton of money. They're going to get another tower kill right here. It does look like Pink's going to go ahead and just try and push these towers down. There's not much he can do. He actually does have his puzzle box level 1 finished. I don't know. I haven't felt like I've seen Tundra be effective lately. He's definitely been, you know, moving around and trying to get these pushes, but he's not there for the counter kills. He's not there for really great initiation. He's got that portal key and that post haste, and you have to use those to get good initiation, or they just were not worth the purchase. Pharaoh's going to get a little bit of farm here. How is he doing? He does have 232 gold per minute. Puzzle box is level 2. I wonder if level 3 is almost done, because that is a super powerful upgrade. We haven't really seen, but we haven't needed to see really great Valkyrie ults this game. They just haven't been that big of a deal yet, because they are in lead. You know, it does look like the Hellborn team is in a little bit of trouble at this point. You know, Puppet Master still not stacking the creep camps. You know, he doesn't have the greatest farm in the world. He only has 215 gold per minute, 330 gold per minute on Tundra, but you'd much rather have that onto, of course, the Puppet Master. We do see Malkin with 466 gold per minute. That is a massive farm. And it's going to be quite devastating as this Malkin. Demonic Breastplate is done at 32 minutes. He does have all 3, essentially, items that he's going to be looking to get. Will they actually take this double stack from the Hellborn team? These Ancients are actually pretty important in your carry's farm. Oh, we do see a missed initiation by Pharaoh. That is, you know, he's been kind of on and off with these ults. He started pretty weak, and then with weak initiation, and then he's been doing really well lately, but he has missed 1 or 2. And again, they're just going to take these stab creep camps, you know, get Malkin even more beefy as if he needs a... It's going to be really dangerous for the Hellborn team at this point. The next team fight they lose, I fully expect them to go kill Kongor as the Legion team, get that token on Malkin, and then, you know, from there the game just kind of ends. It does look like Valkyrie is going to be going for the Shrunken Head after the Frostburn. That's fine. To be really strong against this Hellborn team. You have to wonder at this point if the Hellborn team was maybe a little initiation heavy with their picks. You know, they didn't quite need all of these portal keys and an Andromeda. You know, it goes either way. If you're playing against a lesser skilled team, then having that much initiation just kind of lets you roll over them. But again, you know, TIRL, Tanks in Real Life, are playing fantastic this game. I'm really happy with them. Their tri-lane was super strong, and they've been doing a really great job in controlling this game and keeping the momentum in their favor. These team fights have been just outstanding, especially once, you know, when Pharaoh is hitting these ults and just picking people off. Andromeda's positioning has not been that great. She's been picked off quite a bit this game. And, you know, it's hard to say, okay, you have to dodge Pharaoh ults that go halfway across the screen. But, you know, it kind of has to happen. You kind of have to be able to not get picked off and have really, really solid positioning on Andromeda, because that is 100% what the hero is about. And if she's dead and she's not saving their carry, she's not getting people out of the Malkin ult, she's not, you know, doing any of that super, super important stuff that we need to see her do. It does look like the Legion team is positioning here for a top tower push. They don't really have to be super afraid of a team fight at this point. Does Pharaoh have his ult back up? He does. Absolutely. Valkyrie has his ult. They have everything up. Malkin does have his level 3 ult. Tundra just kind of standing here. That's a little bit dangerous. He does have Puzzle Box level 2 done. Does Pharaoh have level 3? Pharaoh does have Puzzle Box level 3. It's going to be super, super powerful in the team fight. It'll be great to see this. I'm really excited for this team fight. I think it's going to be fireworks all over the place. A little bit of a little turtle fest going on here. Andromeda. Oh, it does get initiation onto this Magnus. Oh, Puzzle Box 3. Oh, Andromeda does get a swap out, but she is going to die. Will Magnus be able to ult in? Yep, there he goes. He cancels it, or he can't cast it. We do see Puppet Master free farming on the back. He's doing a ton of damage, just auto-attacking. But again, they do just kind of get dissolved. It does look like it's going to be a 1v1 Malkin against this Bubbles. Bubbles should be able to get away. And he does, but again, you know, the Malkin lives. He gets a super big farm from that team fight. It is pretty dangerous for the Hellborn team for him to be the one that lives. He's going to be able to push his tower solo without a single problem. Andromeda will res fairly early, but I don't even think 2v1 Pebbles and Bubbles can do anything. Bubbles and Andromeda can do anything to him. An interesting choice by Bubbles here. I guess he just wants to kind of protect the tower. Malkin realizing that there's not much he can do, but he is going to exit stage right. Is that stage right, stage left? I don't. Maybe it's stage left. I don't do theater, guys. I do arm wrestling and hunt innocent animals. Alright, it does look like Malkin is going to try to get away. There's a little bit of a great escape vibe here going. Bubbles does manage to catch him, but I don't know if it's going to be enough even with this Andromeda. He doesn't have Shrunken Head up yet, but he does have his ult up, which is going to let him almost get a kill on this Bubbles. Oh, Bubbles getting away with barely any HP. You know, Malkin stayed in there. He tried to get the tower. It was a little bit sloppy. They do end up actually getting the tower, which is great for his team, but obviously you don't want to see that Malkin fall at any point. He does still have 478 gold per minute. That is a fantastic farm, obviously. We do also have 311 on Valkyrie. She's picked up her farm a ton from the early game when she was at about 115. You know, it's really great to see that she was able to pick up those stats and those team fights. Those early mid-game team fights were absolutely huge, letting Valkyrie pick up her farm. Because she's very kind of cascading hero. You know, she gets good farm, that lets her get even better farm. She hasn't picked up an item in any kind of recent time. I'm wondering if she has the other piece of her Shrunken Head already in her stash and she just needs the pattern. Or maybe she just hasn't gotten a decent farm lately. We do see Shiver not being quite as active as he was before. You know, we saw him in really aggressive positions. Good warding from both teams. By both teams, I mean the Legion team only. You know, they have a lot of really great vision of these areas. They're going to be able to play really aggressively with those, and the Hellborn team only has this ward and this ward. This is a super, super defensive ward for the Hellborn team to have. Obviously, it's really important for that last team fight to have a ward like this, but I mean, during a time like this, it's absolutely doing nothing, which is kind of bad. It might prevent some kind of gank from the jungle, but you want to have wards that are effective for as long as possible. Legion team kind of splitting up. They're farming a little bit. We do have a regeneration rune on Pharaoh with his Puzzle Box level 3. It'll be interesting to see where he goes from that. There are a few options. I really like Staff the Master on Pharaoh. I don't know if the game will go that long, but it lets him really do some cool stuff as far as getting away and initiating and reinitiating. Magnus playing a little bit daring here. We do have a Tundra that can cover him. He does have Puzzle Box level 2 still. He's not quite level 3. We do see him blow the Puzzle Box right here to clear these creep camps. And Pharaoh does manage to hit his ult onto this Magnus. Magnus does have several ways to get away, but Witchslayer is here to follow up, and it does look like Magnus is going to drop quite effectively. You see the effective chaining there between the Witchslayer and the Pharaoh. That was a really great job by Witchslayer, getting in there, portal keying in, and getting that miniaturized down. Again, he used miniaturized first, which is really important because that I don't know if the sun would have hit in time. You just use the skill that you know will hit. So it looks like they're going to actually try and use this to push. They do have quite a few cooldowns up still. Malkin's ult's going to be up in about 5 seconds. Pharaoh has about 20, but you know, he could definitely get that up before the next team fight starts, depending on how aggressive this Hellborn team is. We do see Tundra trying here to push this single first tier tower on bottom. A little bit painful that they still need to get that done, but he's down there doing what he needs to do. He knows he can always boots of travel back up to get to the team fight if he needs to. Really, really aggressive push by the Legion team. You know, they're going to force that Tundra to come back. He wants to get to tower, but I feel like the timing's going to be off. He had to use his puzzle box level 2 on it. It does look like the Legion team is going to get this tower, and that's a pretty big deal. It's going to let them effectively push these Raxus later. Yeah, so Hellborn team just choosing to kind of let that happen. They wanted the first tier tower, so they couldn't have Tundra there. It's an interesting choice. You know, you have to make decisions like that if you're behind. They are 13,000 gold behind, 8,000 experience lead. The Legion team does firmly have this game in their hands. We do see a lot of initiation up here. Magnus gets a fantastic, look how beautiful that ult was. But Valkyrie and Malkin do manage to both get off their shrunken heads, and they're doing quite a bit of damage. Valkyrie does leap out. Will Magnus be able to kill her? He should definitely be going back in and getting a stun on her. Malkin is absolutely crushing the team. You see that's his farm coming into play. He's just doing such damage. We do have the Pulse Box minions still in here from Pharaoh, even though he is dead. And again, it comes down. Malkin is still alive. Bubbles is still alive. He's going to put a rune on the ward. And Magnus is alive as well. Malkin is going to just cut his losses this time and leave. You know, all it's going to take is a team fight where that happens, but one or two other people on the Legion team survive as well. And that's going to completely turn the game around. That's going to give them either a Rax or a Congo or something super important like that. But if they keep having fights like this, where everybody manages to die, the Hellborn team can definitely use that as an opportunity to turn the game around. And they don't want to do that. They don't want to give them any chance. They want to keep the stranglehold. You know, Puppet Master is 2-7-4. He's got 232 gold per minute. They really just kind of need to hold him down. Malkin has hit 500 gold per minute. He does pick up Rift Shards. He goes straight for level 4 Rift Shards, no less. These crits are just going to be insane. I fully expect him to get a Symbol of Rage after this. He does have both buybacks left. He's going to be super effective in the late game. Some of you might be wondering why I say super twice every time. It's actually a different word. It means really super. Alright, as far as warding, we do see the Hellborn being a little bit more proactive in their warding. They do actually choose to renew this ward. Obviously, because the top Rax is the kind of conflict area at the moment. It does look like the Legion team might be going for a Conquer kill. Now, they can actually use this as a chance to bait, because again, between Pharaoh and Witchslayer, they have quite effective initiation. So they might actually pressure this Conquer just to kind of get the Hellborn team to force their movement, because if they don't actually come, if they continue to push this bottom lane over here, they will actually get the Conquer kill. And you do not want a token on Malkin. You absolutely don't want it. They can actually probably give the token to Valkyrie at this point in the game, because Malkin is just not dying in team fights. She does have the Shrunken Head. I expect her to probably go Geobane next and then finish it off with a Frostwolf Skull. She could go right for the Frostwolf as well. They are. The Hellborn team is not reacting. They had vision of this from Shiver. They actually still did. They're essentially giving the Legion team a free Conquer kill. And, you know, I understand why they might not want to fight at this point, but if you're saying to yourself, okay, we just cannot fight the Legion team anymore, there are no chances for us to fight the Legion team. You've essentially conceded the game at that point, if you say that you're not fighting them anymore, for obvious reasons. They do actually give the token to Valkyrie, a very smart decision. She's going to be able to res. And, you know, again, that's going to lead to a team fight where Valkyrie and Malkin are both up at the end. And that's going to mean a dead Rax, essentially, for the Hellborn team, if that happens. You know, even if Bubbles is still up, even if Bubbles and Andro are up, it's not going to matter. They're going to be able to get a res, just kind of a Rax, just power through it with these two super farmed heroes. So the Hellborn team at this point, the lead isn't quite as big as it was. These tower kills have been doing a little bit of good job to kind of get them back into the game, but you know, it comes back to this Puppet Master, and he just does not have efficient farm. I believe he's probably still not stacking these creeps. You can tell it's just one stack, you know, and you see they're still stacking the creeps on the Legion team. They're ahead, and they're just getting more ahead. I'm really not sure. I mean, you see he comes over here and he clears a single stack. He does have a Shrunken Head done, but that's not, you know, at 43 minutes, you need to have good damage output with him as well. You know, the build with Puppet Master tends to be Early game, you get survivability items, which between your Whiplash and your Ultimate let you do quite a lot of damage in team fights. And then from there, you need to pick up your damage really heavily with, you know, Shroud or Savage Mace or even something like Charged Hammer. But he just doesn't have it at that point. And so now you see the Legion team right here. They're just pounding on the Rax. The Rax is just going to go down before the initiation even comes. Oh, there you go. Tundra goes onto this Malkin. Will they be able to burst him down before he gets his Shrunken Head off? I don't see it happening. We're going to see his ult and his Shrunken